It begins with a grown Rohan, Hrithik Roshan, finishing boarding school and returning to visit his grandmothers before returning home for Diwali. His grandmothers, haunted by the memory of Rohan's estranged brother Rahul, Shah Rukh Khan, sit Rohan down and tell him the story of his family in their grief. Yashvardhan Rai Chand, Amitabh Bachchan, is a well-known and prosperous Indian businessman. He and his wife Nandini, Jaya Baduri, adopted and raised Rahul, Shah Rukh Khan, as their own child. They considered their family complete 9 years later when they had a natural son, Rohan, Hrithik Roshan. Rahul was raised as the beloved eldest son, promising his father that he would always uphold the Rai Chand family's respect and traditions, and make his parents proud. However, love steps in. Rahul sees a beautiful girl, Anjali Sharma, Kajal, celebrating India's cricket win in the street while on his way to deliver medication to Dijan, the nanny who raised both him and his brother. He is enchanted by her exuberance and follows her into her family's sweet shop after watching her dance. There, she misidentifies him as her best friend's prospective groom. Anjali recites her original work, much to Rahul's surprise, thinking him to be Ashfaq the poet, who is about to marry her friend. She then drags him over to the newspaper, where there is a picture of the big snob, Yash Rai Chand, and his son. Anjali is humiliated because she realizes her mistake too late. Rahul, on the other hand, is amused and too taken with the outspoken girl to take offense. Their conversation is cut short when Rohan, who has come with Rahul to deliver the medicine, runs by, pursued by local children, including Anjali's sister Pooja. They refuse to let him into their town unless he recites an extremely difficult tongue twister, which Rahul is unable to do, so they pursue him. In response, when Pooja arrives at Rohan's school to harass him further, the girls and boys make fun of Pooja's middle-class appearance, bringing her to tears. Rahul attends a party with his neighbor girl Naina, Rani Mukherjee, but returns home early, bored with high society life. Naina is the daughter of Yash's best friend, another wealthy businessman, and is thus ideal for Rahul's wife. And because Yash is looking for a bride for Rahul, Naina is his top choice. When Rahul returns home, the family is enjoying a quiet evening at home. Anjali's friend's wedding is mentioned by Nandini. Nandini believes she and Yash should attend the wedding because the bride is Dijan's daughter and Dijan is a longtime family employee. Yash, on the other hand, is not convinced. He believes Dijan's family is not of sufficient social standing, so he will not attend. Nandini protests, but Yash overpowers her. The topic has been concluded. Yash returns to his game with Rohan, who inadvertently reveals that they are planning a surprise birthday party for Yash. Anjali's shop, by chance, provides the sweets for the party. She and her friend Rukhsar, the future bride, arrive at the party to serve the sweets, and Rahul is taken aback by the sight of the girl he saw dancing in the streets. He and his father perform a big party song, Say Shava Shava, and Anjali becomes swept up in the excitement. When Nandini reminds Yash to calm down, he begins to sing her an old filmy song to calm her down. Anjali blurts out the words when he forgets them. Rukhsar and Dijan are outraged by Anjali's disrespect for both an elder and a social superior, and she is escorted out of the party. Anjali becomes distracted when she sees Rahul and collides with and smashes a vase. She leaves the party in complete humiliation. The next day, Dijan brings Anjali by to apologize to Yash for breaking his pot, as Anjali refers to it because she doesn't know any better. Anjali apologizes in her own unique style, interrupted several times by Rahul, who, upon seeing his love again, causes mischief behind his father's back. Hilarity ensues, and upon hearing that she has been forgiven, Anjali turns to leave rather hastily than is proper, smashing yet another pot. Daijan rushes her away, leaving Rahul leaning against the doorframe, completely in love. Anjali is outraged after learning of her sister's humiliation at Rohan's school, and she lectures both her sister and her father about rich people's social ineptitude, saying, "Too much money, too little heart." She vows vengeance, and as she backs up to leave, she runs into Rahul, who has brought Rohan to apologize. Rahul also asks for Anjali's friendship and calls her shop the next day. Anjali responds by saying that the shop has sweets for every occasion, including engagements and weddings, to which Rahul responds, "Both will happen in due time." Rahul then invites Anjali to the fair in her town, which causes her to blush. She concurs. Rohan and Pooja flee the fair, leaving Anjali and Rahul to fend for themselves. Rahul compliments Anjali on how lovely she looks with her hair down. Anjali, clearly unaccustomed to such compliments, rushes to a Bengal stall to distract herself. She chooses green ones, a traditional color for brides, and Rahul purchases them for her while singing a love song. She flees, believing he is seducing her in order to take over her sweet shop, but Rahul stops her, slowly sliding the bangles onto her wrists and explaining that her shop is not what he is after. They express their feelings for one another, Suraj Hua Madham. After Yash refuses to attend Daijan's daughter's wedding, he sends Rahul in his place. While Rahul is at the wedding, Yash finalizes the wedding plans with his best friend, marrying Rahul to Naina. Rahul, on the other hand, dances the night away with Anjali at the wedding. He returns to find out he is engaged and, shocked, declines the engagement. Yash is outraged, and Naina is deeply hurt, but she acknowledges Rahul's undying love for her and releases him from his obligation to her. Yash is less forgiving and demands that Rahul end his relationship with Anjali immediately. Rahul arrives in Anjali's village and walks straight into a funeral procession for Anjali's father. When he sees her anguish, he throws caution to the wind and finally accepts Anjali as his wife. He marries her while she is still in mourning and takes her and her sister Pooja to London to begin their new life. Meanwhile, after hearing this story, Rohan becomes determined to reunite with his family. He requests permission from his father to attend university in London, citing the crucial fact that it is a family tradition. Yash, a staunch traditionalist, concurs. Rahul and Anjali have settled in London, bringing Daijan along as a mother substitute. Pooja lives with them because they have a son. She, too, is starting university and has evolved into a first-rate beauty queen who is extremely popular and desired. She dresses provocatively, which scandalizes Rahul and makes Anjali roll her eyes. She calls herself Pooh and rules over her school. The only man who won't turn to look at her is a mysterious stranger in a Lamborghini. Pooja is intrigued by his indifference and pursues him until he reveals himself by perfectly reciting the tongue twister she tortured him with all those years ago, Diwana Hai Dekho. It's Rohan, all grown up and very appealing. Pooja immediately drops her beauty queen persona and tells Rohan about her family's situation. They become allies, with the goal of reuniting their families. They devise a scheme to have Rohan come and stay at their house under the guise of being her friend's cousin. Rahul is hesitant to have him in the house, but Anjali agrees without hesitation when Pooja informs her that the new boy is from India. Anjali accepts Rohan right away, despite her disdain for her homeland. Rahul takes much longer to warm up to the new boy, but he can't shake the feeling that something about him is inherently familiar. Rahul, who is strangely unsettled, decides to stay in the house after Rohan introduces himself by his father's name. Dijan, too, can't shake the feeling that she recognizes Yash. To everyone's surprise, Rohan's presence in the house begins to transform Pooja into a dutiful Indian maiden, and Rahul gradually grows fond of him. Pooja reverts to her old ways at prom, and the only person she'll accompany is Rohan, who is completely unimpressed with her. She flits by him one Saturday night, all dressed up for the club, and Rohan doesn't bat an eye, instead pointing out her mismatched shoes. She flounces out the door, but Rohan follows her to the club. She ditches her date and turns to see Rohan standing on the club's balcony, declaring his love for her. "You are my Saniya." Back in India, Nandini is still in mourning over Rahul's death. Yash acknowledges her grief but only asks that she bring back his Nandini, without explaining why she is sad or upset. He simply wishes for things to return to normal. Karwa Chauth approaches, and Rohan's plan moves forward. He asks Anjali if she has ever received traditional sweets from her mother-in-law for the holiday, and knowing full well that she hasn't, he summons his mother to speak with Anjali. Anjali, who is deeply hurt because she has never received these sweets, is moved by Rohan's and his mother's gestures. As a result, the real mother-in-law sends sweets to her real daughter-in-law, and they get closer. Pooja reveals at the nighttime party for the breaking of the wives' fast that she fasted for Rohan, who is amused but pleased by her devotion. He gently mocks her, asking who he is to her. In her rage, she dares him to be a man and reveal his true identity to Rahul and Anjali. Pooja responds cryptically when he asks what his reward will be if he does. Without a chorus of "Wah, Wah, Ramji," Rohan sings to his "Bhaiya" or Bobby, and fulfills his part of the bet. Pooja then follows through on her end of the bargain by telling him how she feels, "Bol Chudiyan." Throughout the song, Rohan imagines Yash and Nandini arriving at the party and welcoming Anjali into the fold. Unfortunately, it's all made up, and the song ends with Rahul and Rohan kissing. Rohan has been approved. Rahul calls his parents in India and begs them to come to London to see him. Yash readily agrees, and Rohan informs him that the only way he'll be welcomed is if he brings a gift. Yash is at a loss for what to get his son, so Rohan invites him to meet him at the Blue Water Mall in London, where he arranges for Anjali and Rahul to accompany him. Yash, who is unfamiliar with current technology, searches for an iPack or something similar for Rohan. Rahul walks right into his mother as he wanders off in search of the elusive gizmo. Nandini cradles her son quietly and tearfully, with Anjali and their child watching. Yash approaches, sees Rahul, and runs away. Later that evening, he is enraged and strikes Rohan for being so arrogant. He has clearly not forgiven Rahul. Rohan, for his part, accuses his father of having a larger ego than is healthy for him. Anjali, who is also devastated by the events of the day, begs Rahul to visit his parents, travel to India, and seek forgiveness. Rahul cradles his wife's face and says simply, "She will never understand the pain of going from outcast to family to outcast again," and then walks away. Rohan finally reveals himself and brings his father and brother face to face, where Yash berates his son while crying. He claims Rahul had no right to leave the family and not return even once. Rahul, who is crying, claims that he thought his father didn't love him. Yash assures him that fathers never stop loving their sons, and Rahul and Anjali are welcomed into the family. All is well when Rohan and Pooja marry. Please subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching this video.